Hey everyone, if you're new here, I'm Clara. I illustrate characters in the worlds they live in, and today we're doing an updated bust of Azaira. Now, this was originally supposed to be a warm-up, for fun. Then it started to look nice. Really nice. So it went from a warm-up to line art, from line art to color. Rendering not exactly 100% on some of the shapes and shading, but it's probably the best updated look of her so far. Print-worthy. Sticker-worthy. I never really had anything worth putting on a print, or a sticker for that matter. It's actually quite nice to be at a point where I feel I can start that. But what's the etiquette for prints and stickers? Do websites really let you start with just one product, or must you have more than that? I'm not quite sure. I'll start looking into it, but I think when I get the other characters concepted out, it would be fun to make more similar print-worthy versions of them. I really would love to pack my own prints and ship them out, but without a proper work area and a place to store it, I'm stuck with websites doing it for me for now, and that's okay. One day I'll have that workspace, and one day I'll get to enjoy packing up orders and recording it. Something very relaxing about watching other creators put together orders, the soft rustle of paper and the heavy thunk of stacks ready to roll. And being able to put your own special touch and thank you inside seems very pleasing to me. And I look forward to getting that experience with creating products, as one day the comic will have physical copies ready to send out. But that is probably a year or two away to actually have a ready copy to go, so I have plenty of time to learn and experience. And some of you may know that I'm currently intentionally avoiding using references unless I truly hit a wall. Well, this picture looked fantastic and I did not want to skip out on the shoulder details, so I did look up a reference so I could get her shoulder structure just right. Now, don't get me wrong, references are very important. What I am doing is currently testing myself. In my very first video, I stated how behind I was, and I want to document exactly this by trying to draw the characters and using my mental library of what is stored in there. It is definitely lacking. Once the characters for the first comic are concepted, I will be shifting gears and diving neck deep into references to not only improve their looks, but to grow myself as an artist and refill that very empty mental library. Always use references. Do not let others say it's a crutch. All of the great masters in the past did extensive, detailed studies to improve their craft. You may not necessarily use realism in your style, but I guarantee it will actually help your style, even if it's just getting that one contour line just right, or that angle of lighting. Coloring Azaira's hair has always been interesting. In the story, her hair is described as a type of rose peach color, so it is a mix of orange and pink. Here you can see me layering and mixing the dark orange and dark pink for shadows, while building up to mix in the very light pink and light goldish orange for her highlights. She has a very strange iridescent hair in that sense, but I find it very pretty and a fun challenge to do so. As you can tell, hair is my second favorite thing to draw. I love adding every wispy strand, every highlight and every shadow to give it lots of body and depth. And I still want to improve my hair even more from this. And here I am trying to up my eye game. The eyes of the characters are my favorite detail, and I want to try and improve here the most to give them the most personality and soul to the character. Eyes are the windows to the soul, and how they present themselves can tell a lot. A tenseness, a softness, a sharpness, a tiredness. I always try to put a lot of detail here. And I did go back and redo the lips. I pulled up a nice tutorial on Pinterest to try to get the right coloring and shading in place. I always seem to make them a little too shiny or the wrong shape. Something with the shading. Always off to me. With more practice and more references, I'm confident I will be able to get her to look just right later. I was going to create a matching necklace for her earrings, but then I remembered she actually wears a blue indigo shard in the stories, so why not add it now? If you watched my Azul speed paint, you will notice he has in his possession a few of those very shards. What trouble is Azaira getting herself into now? I want to try my best to try and trickle in little bits of info here and there without spoiling the story somewhat. Though those following social media will always get extra content and bonus features that you would normally not see in the comic. With little tidbits of story, extra lore, or behind the scenes. I hope to make little extra flavor comics and maybe one day, some fun little animations. I do know those take a lot of time to create, and they'll be fun to dive into that and see how much time that's gonna take me. As you can see on the ruffles down below, Clip Studio comes with some nice default laces and ruffles. And here I decided to recreate it myself because if I plan to turn it into a print or a sticker, it just didn't feel right to have already made assets put in there for me. And ruffles, they are very time intensive indeed because you have to get the shape right, you have to get the creases and the 3D angles with the underside and overside. But in the end, it's very worth it to me as it ends up looking very good. And then the next tedious part comes to shading all of those with shadows. I eventually just swapped to starting from the darkest and then highlighting it. It seemed to give the best effect in the end. In my last video, I had some fun with these little characters that you see pop up now and then. I wanted to do a story time with something currently plaguing me. I did what I do best, and I greatly underestimated how much time it would make these. I even aimed for a little less rendered, simple versions of myself. I really love the extra personality it adds to the video, but I would like to update the little character into something nicer and a bit cleaner. And updating those will naturally take time, so somewhere down the road we'll have some nicer little models to look at. And since I'm committed to making this print-worthy, now I'm working on a background to make it her pop and look very nice. I did play with some roses a bit and realized I probably need more practice and reference on these to get it fully fleshed out. I played with a little border with some queen's blooms, and I may add those in for the print down the road. But for now, there's the finished piece. Print-worthy, sticker-worthy, and looking pretty good. Want to thank everyone for hanging out today. I hope you enjoyed my nonsensical rambling, and the updated picture of Azaira. Like, subscribe, share if you like seeing more character illustrations, story times, or comic progress. I hope everyone has a wonderful weekend. See you later.